Companies across the Asia-Pacific are being told to go green. Increasingly, their efforts are tied to how much financing they can secure. But a lack of transparency in some supply chains is hampering efforts. Gwyneth Teo shows us the solutions that are out there.
For every tree that goes into making this furniture, seeds are sown for a new one. At least, that's the idea. For the past 6 years, homegrown furnishing brand Scantique has offered to pay suppliers more for their wood, as long as they plant new trees. It's doing this to offset the carbon it emits in the process of making its furniture. But as for whether those trees are really planted,
we take their word for it though, and then we actually do see photos that they send, hey, by the way, we have done this, and it was okay, thanks, or like an agreement, it's all right, thanks, great.
While industry watchers say companies can manage compliance in their supply chain relatively cheaply with technology, the people in developing countries may not know how to use it. On top of that, Scantique doesn't really know how much carbon it produces from tree to table. And while there are entities that sell carbon offsets, there's no standard price, and this impacts operational costs.
Because there is no proper standard, it's very hard to enforce, to say, hey, you need to do this, and you need to hit these certain measures. We kind of know we are heading in the right direction, but then to quantify is, okay, what's your carbon emission? What's your carbon footprint? And then to go to that extent, I think it's a bit more difficult.
In the last year and a half, Singapore has gotten a lot more serious about greening the financial sector. Besides strengthening its resilience to climate change, the country is also looking to help companies capture the benefits of sustainability. It's prepared to back this up with capital while encouraging green solutions and innovation. For companies that want to keep track of their sustainability practices, it may be a case of being willing but unable to do so for now. But there are startups that are working on solutions that could help them in the near future. One firm is hoping to help set a standard price of carbon globally with data. Currently, transactions take place between 2 parties at a time, and prices are not disclosed.
There is not a lot of transparency around what is transacted and what the price of that is. So what we've managed to do is work with those in that ecosystem through the landscape, and they are sharing their data with us, and now we're working with Platts, S&P Global Platts on global indexes. So we'll be able to bring something very new to the market.
As sustainable practices come under increasing scrutiny from governments, lenders and consumers, businesses are expected to walk the talk. And it all comes back to financing.
It's getting access to money, getting access to credit, where we see financial institutions increasingly putting green standards, if you will, on either loaning money for business acquisitions, right? We've seen, BlackRock and other really big financial institutions saying, look, we're not going to invest in companies that don't meet certain environmental standards.
With the environment increasingly a priority for consumers and crowdfunding also seen as a fast and effective way to raise cash, the onus is on businesses to make green a lot more transparent.